Good evening, dear student, and my dear other participant. Once again, on behalf of IE Thane branch, I, Dr. Nishikant Jha, welcoming you for this wonderful day and auspicious day of Friendship Day, which is World Friendship Day. And I think in this pandemic, we got lot many friends like you. And आप सबों के लिए मैं कुछ कहना चाहूँगा कि तृप्त हृदय को सरस स्नेह से तृप्त हृदय को सरस स्नेह से जो सहला दे वही मित्र है। तृप्त हृदय को सरस स्नेह से जो सहला दे मित्र वही है। रूखे मन को सरोवर कर जो नहला दे मित्र वही है। प्रिय वियोग में संतप्त चित्त को जो बहला दे मित्र वही है। अश्रुबुंद की एक झलक से जो दहला दे मित्र वही है। ये छोटी सी यू नो पोएम आप सबों को ऑन दिस फ्रेंडशिप डे and I wish all of you a happy Friendship Day. And on behalf of IE Thane branch, it has rightly been said. I do not word. I do not need words to express. I do not need tear to shed. Do not need to ask for a smile or hand to hold my and hand to hold me. All needs is to your friend forever. Friendship is not a collection of hearts, but selection of hearts. All friends are not true, but true friends are very few, which include all of you on behalf of IE Thane branch. So happy Friendship Day to all the students, to all the viewers, to all my other teacher fellow colleagues and other participants. Today we have a part 2 session on economics. As you know, SYJC economics will be going to teach by Nayan sir and Sanjay sir. Due to some official commitment, Sanjay sir has not uh, started his economics session, but Nayan sir has completed one session, and it is the second series of his session, which is on utility analysis part 2 and demand analysis. So last time also you have given a lot of love and affections to our resource person, expert experience and experienced faculty, Nayan sir, who is a Lion member. He has completed NetSet exam of Maharashtra, Gujarat. He has also completed his MPhil from Hinduja College. Only just dissertation submission is pending, which he will be doing very soon. He has also completed his PG diploma, and he has already had his master in his hand. Having more than 2 decades teaching administration experience, and he is a very renowned faculty, and best of it, he is a student of ours, and we know his capability, we know his caliber when he comes and teach all of us. So it is indeed a pleasure that he is also a life member of IE Thane branch and consistently helping us in whatever the manner we require for his assistance. So today also he is going to teach all the viewers who is going to attend today's session on economics part 2, that is utility analysis part 2 and demand analysis. One more thing I would bring in your notice, we are very sorry. Today's Vedic maths lecture got cancelled because on 11th hour we got to know our speaker, CA Dr. Jinesh Saji, is not well. He has got some throat infection. He was insisting, but we thought life is more important than keeping the session. I am very sorry. I got many of yours message. Due to this technicality, we have shifted this session for the next Sunday, and we are praying that he should get well soon, and as soon as he'll be well next Sunday, definitely the timing and everything will be same. Uh, at 11 to 1 only we will be keeping for your Vedic maths part 2. So this was a few notices. These were few celebrations, a few talk related to Friendship Day, because we got lot many friends, more than 7,000 friends as a faculty and other participant, more than 3,500 friends as a student. So we have a huge number, and we have served many other friends who could not be regularly on our Telegram channel. So more than 2 lakhs of participant with several uh, you know um, webinar or student series we have served them. So a very friendship day to all of them, all to all our associates who have kept trust on faith on us. And a few important thing I would like to bring to your notice. In days to come, we are having very important session related to career counseling. uh, we have Dr. Gupta's session under with association with Brahma Kumaris, which will be a fantastic session. He is head of the department of cardiac, from New Delhi hospital. He's also, uh, doctor for Honorable Minister of Parliaments, all ministers under his supervision. So please attend, and he's going to share his own life experience. Like tomorrow's session is also going to shared by one of the renowned CEO, his life experience, how he has became so renowned personalities. And day after tomorrow, we'll be having session with Lions Club of Dhruvgarh on career counseling after 10th and 12th, which will be again going to conduct by Nayan. So please keep watching all these events on IA Thane branch platform, on IA Thane branch YouTube channel. And this all is feasible and possible only with the appropriate guidance and support by our chairman, Dr. ARVIND LUHAR sir, who is also chairman Board of Studies, University of Mumbai, who always gives us free and to conduct all the activity. And of course, my dearest friend, today in Friendship Day, I accept that Kuldeep sir is my one of the best, dearest friend ever in my life on this earth. So our honorary treasurer, Dr. Kuldeep Sharma sir, who is also member Board of Studies in banking insurance and investment management. Sir is the MPhil and PhD coordinator at Hinduja College of Commerce. Sir has vast experience, more than a decade experience on teaching, learning, and administration of the course. Sir is author of many books. Sir is written many research paper, got many times best research paper award also. Sir is a very renowned researcher in our vicinity. So I will request Kuldeep Sharma sir to propose formal vote of thanks. Over to you, Kuldeep sir, and happy Friendship Day to all my viewers.
Thank you, Nishikant sir. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to propose vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to thank the chairman of our association, Dr. Arvind Luhar sir, who is also chairman Board of Studies Accountancy, University of Mumbai, Academic Council member, University of Mumbai, and head of the Department of Ismail Yusuf Kali Accountancy, for his continuous support in organizing various programs on different topics. Sir has always, guided us like a friend, mentor, and philosopher. And being a chairman of the association, he always, see the technicality part of, Indian Accounting Association, that we should not do anything technically wrong. So that is also one of the important role which he plays. Sometimes he is cannot able to make his presence online, but offline is always there. He is continuously rendering his support to us, and we are very much thankful to him. Now I would like to thank our General Secretary of the association, Dr. Nishikant Jha Sir, who is also a Board of Studies member, Accounts and Finance, as well as Financial Management, University of Mumbai, Executive Council member of Maharashtra Commerce Association as well as Indian Economic Association. And as the most important association is concerned, the top three most organization, Indian Commerce Association, Indian Accounting Association, and Indian Economic Association, everywhere Nishikant sir is there, is very hardworking, and the kind of support is giving to the entire association, that is invaluable. We cannot able to value those contribution which is made by him. Today also he made a arrangement of this program of Shri Nayan Thakkar sir, and he continuously working hard so that every day we should conduct some program for our student. And the most important thing is, he is a very talented guy. He have so many papers under his belt. He is also having two patent register under his name. Apart from that, he has written so many books, around more than 50 books he has already written. And this year also there are 7 8 books which is coming, which is almost ready. So very soon he will reach the figure of 200. So that is also a achievement for him. And there are many I should say there are many assignment which is left out, and he is doing very fast those assignment, completing those assignment, so that you all should get a benefit of it, as is already check out a program for the entire week, and the entire week program is already there with us. So you can able to understand how much hard work is doing. So, sir, thank you very much for making this program possible today and coordinating with Shri Nayan Thakkarji. And you are one of the important pillar of Indian Accounting Association Thana chapter. And I know one thing, your phone, your message, and you are available 20 by 7, which is not possible for us, and not for Arvind sir also, and not possible for me also. But he is always ready. He is always available. Just what you have to do, you just have to pick up your mobile phone and you have to dial a number of Nishikant sir. Is always ready to answer your phone. So that is one of the important quality of him, sir. As you were saying, friendship, I don't know how many of people knows the real meaning of friendship, but from last almost 14 years we both are living a true friendship. Because there are so many up and downs in my life also, which you have supported me in all aspect, financially also, mentally also, morally also, and that is what we need from a friend. And friendship is something which is well defined by you. And in the entire Mumbai city, everybody knows, Kuldeep is incomplete without of Nishikant, and Nishikant is also incomplete without me. So that is a kind of friendship we shares with each other. And I always pray to the God that we should not get any kind of bad eye on our relationship from anybody. And this continue should last for the till the last breath of my life. So happy Friendship Day to Nishikant sir, and uh, I should say, thank you for everything which you have given to the association, to the university, to me, and all our, participant, or are our student who are, looking at you like a candle, and you are truly, showing a path to them. So thank you very much. Now I would like to thank our speaker for the day, Shri Nayan Thakkarji, for giving his most valuable time to guide our student on different aspect of economics. He has already taken so many lectures on Indian accounting Thana chapter platform, and as Nishikant sir has said correctly, he is our student also, and he is our friend also, because when he took admission in MPhil, I think 4 5 years back. At that time, he himself was a teacher, but we treated him like a friend also, we treated him like a student also. So we are happy that he is performing, and he is giving his contribution to the association. So Nayan, thank you very much, and we hope that in future also we will have a same kind of association, and we expect same kind of support from you. And
Wonderful.
now I would like to thank our technical team. And you people know technical team are very important. Without them we cannot able to reach you people. So I thank from the bottom of my heart to my team member Vignesh, Kanesh, Ajit, Harshal, and Riddhi also, because Riddhi gave his assistance in PPT. So for their continuous support from backstage. So really, guys, you are working very hard, whether it is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or Raksha Bandhan, or any day. You people are keeping yourself always available for all of us, and that is one of the important we say Guru Dakshina you are giving to us, and we always remember you for your contribution to this association. And I request our chairman and secretary, if possible, we can also give them membership, so that though they have not completed their graduation, but they are doing equal contribution to the association as much as we are contributing, not financially, but they are giving their time, they are giving their energy, and they are using their mind, so that how we can able to reach each and everyone online also, because they are showing this video online also. They are sitting continuously till the end, until the speaker finish his lecture. So that is a really very great achievement for these students. They are learning a lot, because they are listening to so many stalwarts of the educations who are taking the lecture on this platform. So guys, keep on doing this great work. One day definitely you will get a return of it. Now, I would like to thank our participants who are attending this lecture from different part of the world. Their love, their affection, their support is very important to us, and this is what it reflects in our YouTube channel also. Because when we see, there are more than 1,500, 1,600 people, they view our videos, they admire the lectures and so many things. So, dear friends, we don't have a word to express, the kind of a support you are giving to us. So, once again, I thank each of you. And now I request Shri Nayan Thakkar ji to please start his session, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Kuldeep sir. Namaskar and good evening, everyone. Before we proceed with today's session, let us first bow, respect, salute our senior teachers and my mentor teachers and professor, respected Professor Lion, Dr. Arvind Luhar sir, who is the chairman of Indian Accounting Association Thane branch. Let me first. Sir is also the chairman of Board of Studies for Accountancy, University of Mumbai. Arvind Luhar sir is also a recognized guide of PhD and MPhil in Mumbai University. Thank you and bow and respect and salute to Lion Professor Dr. NISHIKANT JHA Sir, General Secretary of Indian Accounting Association Thane branch in Mumbai University. NISHIKANT Sir is the member of Board of Studies for BAF and BFM, and also a recognized guide for PhD and MPhil. Thank you, salute and respect to my professor Dr. KULDEEP Sharma Sir, Treasurer of Indian Accounting Association Thane chapter in Mumbai University. Sir is the member of Board of Studies for BBI and BIM, and also a recognized guide of PhD and MPhil in Mumbai University. Thank you to all my teachers for their support and motivation. And it is always told that friend in need is a friend indeed. And my teachers have stood me when I was in need. So first of all, a very, very happy Friendship Day to Dr. Arvind Luhar sir, Land Dr. Nishikant Jha sir, Land Dr. Kuldeep Sharma sir, and to all the participants and all my students. With these kind words, sir, I would like to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for being my support, being my motivation, being my inspiration. Sir, I would like to ask the permission from you for starting today's session. Sir, please grant the permission to start the today's session.
Please start then, no problem.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Herewith, I am sharing the screen and let us start with the session. Once again, thanking our chairman, Dr. Arvind Luhar sir, line professor Dr. Nishikant Jha sir, respected Professor Kuldeep Sharma sir. Thank you, sir, once again, and thank you for granting the permission. Herewith, we start today's session. Today's topic, what we are going to study, friends, is utility analysis part 2 and demand analysis. Friends, in the previous lecture, we have completed utility analysis part 1. So let us very quickly revise that what we studied in utility analysis part 1. Let us see the main points what we have studied. Friends, in that utility analysis part 1, we studied the introduction of utility and we understood the meaning of utility from its 10 different features of utility. Let me very quickly narrate you the points of these features. We studied that utility is a relative concept, it is a subjective concept. Utility is ethically neutral concept. Utility differs from usefulness. Next point was utility differs from pleasure. Utility differs from satisfaction. Measurement of utility is hypothetical. Utility is also multi-purpose. Utility depends upon the intensity of the want. Utility is the basis of demand. So this is what the points we have studied as a feature of utility. Friends, further we went and we studied how many different types of utilities are there. Before going to utility part 2, it is necessary to get a warm up of the part 1 session. So friends, how many types of utility we have studied? There are 6 types of utility which are mentioned in the book of 12th standard. So what are those type of utility are there? Form utility, place utility, service utility, knowledge utility, possession utility, and friends, time utility. Further, we studied the concept of utility. There are two main concepts of utility, that is total utility and marginal utility. We also studied the formula explaining the relationship between total utility and marginal utility. As we went further, we saw the relationship between total utility and marginal utility along with the graphical representation and its explanation. And last but not the least, we studied in that session the difference between total utility and marginal utility. Of course, this was the second part of the previous lecture. In the first part, we had studied about the introduction also of micro and macro economics. And this is the topic which is connected. Utility part 2 is connected to the later half of the first lecture. So I quickly narrated the session. So friends, what are we going to study in today's lecture? That is second lecture of economics arranged by Indian Accounting Association Thane chapter, and with the blessings of Professor Dr. Arvind Luhar sir, line Dr. Nishikant Jha sir, Professor Dr. Kuldeep Sharma sir. These are very expert faculties, expert teachers at a very high level at Mumbai University. And as our Kuldeep sir said, they are authors of so many books in UG and PG level. So as a student, I am a student of Dr. Arvind Luhar sir, Dr. Nishikant Jha sir, and Dr. Kuldeep Sharma sir. I am fortunate and I am blessed, and I feel I take pride. Okay, yes, I am their student and they are my motivation. So they have blessed us. So what are we going to study? We shall study today in the second part of utility analysis. First and the foremost, we are going to see the law of DMU, that is law of diminishing marginal utility. We'll see, friends. We'll see the statement of its law. Then we'll see the assumption, how to represent this graphically. That also we are going to see. It's very interesting. And explanation of graphical method we'll see. Then we'll see what are the exceptions of the law, criticism of the law, and we will also see the significance. Then we will see a little bit briefly about the two English economists, Sir J.R. Hicks sir and R.J. Allen sir. And finally, we will end the topic of utility analysis part 2 by seeing the relationship between marginal utility and price. What is the relationship between it? And then again, there is a second part of today's lecture, that is demand analysis, a very interesting topic, one more interesting topic that we will enjoy. Okay, and so let us first start with the part A today of the lesson number 2 in the textbook of 12th standard of Maharashtra board, that is utility analysis part 2. So friends, first, as I said, we are going to study about the law of diminishing marginal utility. तो ये लॉ क्या बोल रहा है, व्हॉट इज दिस लॉ टेलिंग, हा लॉ काय म्हणतो. पण त्याच्या आधी आपण इंट्रोडक्शन पाहूया की हे लॉ आहे तर त्याचं फ्रेमिंग कसं झालं. So friends, this law was first proposed by Professor Gaussen, but it was discussed in detail by Professor Alfred Marshall Sir in his book Principles of Economics, published in the year 1890. Friends, the law of DMU, that is law of diminishing marginal utility, is universal in character. It is universal. It is based on the common consumer behavior. And what is that? That is utility derived diminishes with the reduction in the intensity of a want. I repeat that statement. Friends, utility derived diminishes with the reduction in the intensity of want. That is the main base of this law. So now friends, let us see the statement of the law. What is the statement? This law, हा law काय म्हणतो ते आपण पाहूया. So the statement of the law of DMU, according to Professor Alfred Marshall Sir, other things remaining constant. This word is very important to write. Okay, and yes friends, when you write the law, write it in the inverted commas. Okay, other things remaining constant. The additional benefit which a person derives from a given increase in stock of thing diminishes with every increase in the stock that he already has. So once again, let us see the statement. Other things remaining constant, the additional benefit which a person derives from a given increase in stock of thing diminishes with every increase in the stock that he already has. So this is the statement. पण हा स्टेटमेंट त्याचा सरळ शब्दामध्ये अर्थ काय आहे, त्याचा अर्थ असा आहे, इन अदर वर्ड्स मार्जिनल युटिलिटी that any consumer derives from successive म्हणजे the next units of a particular commodity goes on diminishing म्हणजे decreasing as his or her total consumption of that commodity increases. In short, थोडक्यात काय आपण म्हणू शकतो, थोडक्यात आपण म्हणू शकतो, the more a thing you have, the less you want to have it more. This is what we can conclude from the statement. Okay, so there are certain assumptions. If you see in the friends, the statement how it started, statement के starting में क्या लिखा था, inverted comma के other things remaining constant. Other things म्हणजे which things are constant, म्हणजे काहीतरी याच्यामध्ये काय असायला पाहिजे, काहीतरी assumption असायला पाहिजे, काहीतरी अनुमान असायला पाहिजे. So the next topic over here immediately after the conclusion of the law is assumption of law of DMU. So what are the assumptions? Certain assumptions are there on that this law is based. The first is rationality. Consumer is assumed to be rational. It means that his behavior is normal and he tries to maximize his satisfaction. So that is rationality. Second, friends, it is cardinal measurement. The law assumes that utility can be cardinal or numerically measured. Cardinal म्हणजे numerically आपण त्याचं measurement करू शकतो, ते cardinality. Hence, mathematical operations are easily possible to know and compare the utility derived from each unit of the commodity. Then friends, next third point is homogeneity. Here I flash on the screen. All units of a commodity consumed are exactly homogeneous. Homogeneous is a scientific word. Normal also English may we use. Homogeneous means same or identical in size, shape, color, and taste. Taste. Okay. So the next point is continuity. All units of a commodity are consumed in quick succession without any lapse of time. That is the fourth point, that is continuity. Fifth point, friends, it is reasonability. I flash it on the screen, friends. Here. All the units of a commodity consumed are of reasonable size. Size almost should be the same. They are neither too big nor too small. Next point is constancy. All the related factors like income, taste, habits, choices, likes, dislikes of a consumer should remain constant. Marginal utility of money is also assumed to be constant. 7th point, friends. How many points are there? Totally 8 are there, friends. Okay, so we are on the 7th point. 7th point is divisibility. Here I flash it on your screen. The law assumes that the commodity consumed by the consumer is divisible so that it can be acquired in small quantities. And the last and the concluding point of the assumption is single want. A given commodity can satisfy a single want of a person. The law assumes an experience of a single want which is completely satiable at a given point of time. So friends, these were the assumptions of law of DMU. Friends, now here let us plot a marginal utility curve on a graph by considering a hypothetical example. आता ग्राफ आपल्याला बनवायचा आहे, त्याच्या आधी आपल्याला काय बनवावं लागेल? लास्ट लेक्चर मध्ये तुम्हाला सांगितलं होतं की शेड्यूल बनवावं लागेल. बरोबर, शेड्यूल म्हणजे टेबल. काहीतरी त्याचा अनुमान आपल्याला लावावं लागेल की काय आहे. तर हायपोथेटिकल एक्झाम्पल साठी आपण ते बनवू. तर हे ग्राफ आपण कशाला बनवतो? सो दॅट वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड मोर बेटर ये हम क्यों बना रहे हैं शेड्यूल, ताकि हम ये बराबर लॉ ऑफ मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी, बराबर आवर टीचर्स हैव टोल्ड एग्जांपल्स यू हैव टू गिव एंड टीच. तो एग्जांपल्स के तौर पर और न्यूमेरिकल कार्डिनल वी हैव सीन वन ऑफ द features make it is cardinal, it can be measured. So we will do it graphically, friends. So let us have the schedule. Units of commodity, as you can see, we have made अनुमान किया है 1 से लेके 7 तक. 1 2 3 4 5 6 are the units of commodity, and as I told, hypothetical and according to law of DMU. Okay, so marginal utility goes on decreasing. That is why hypothetical schedule है. फिर भी क्या लिया? 10 8 6 4 2 0 and then it goes to negative. Friends, here on the screen you can see the table shows that marginal utility keeps on diminishing with increase in the consumption. Further it becomes 0 म्हणतो आणि नंतर काय खालती नेगेटिव्ह मध्ये ते जाते. So here you can put an arrow. Okay, units or commodity are increasing while you can see that marginal utility goes on diminishing. Okay, तो ये हमारा hypothetical friend schedule, that is table, is ready. So hypothetical schedule is ready. So now let us plot it on the graph. Since so you can see that we will take units of commodity on x-axis and marginal utility on y-axis. Okay, so yeah, so let us first, here you can see on the screen marginal utility curve and friends, first give x and y axis and origin. Units of commodity, as we have seen in the schedule, that is in the table, we will take it on the x axis and marginal utility on the y axis. So please you have to label first. Yes, x axis pe kya hai labeling, y axis pe kya hai, that you have to do it. And then we will plot the points 1 comma 10, 2 comma 8, 3 comma 6, 4 comma 4, 5 comma 2, 6 comma 0, and 7 comma minus 2. If we will plot, so what we will get? We will get this graph on the screen. Yeah, so this graph we will get. Now we have written, see the units ka gap is there. You can see that 0, 2, 4. Usme gap is what? 2. So, and while here the gap is 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the interval? Gap means interval. What is the interval? So that interval you need to write in the scale. As you can see, it is flashing on your screen, blinking on your screen. So it is advisable to write the scale. And once you write the scale, as you can see, it has gone in the negative. So that you show that it is this utility. This utility curve is there. Here you can see it is blinking on your screen. This utility, it is blinking on your screen. So this is how our graph is ready. So now let us see the explanation of this graph. So aapko, what is the explanation? What the observation? What you can observe from the diagram that you have to narrate, you have to write the commentary of it, the explanation of it. Friends, we should write that in the above diagram, units of commodity are measured on x-axis, जो आपको सामने दिख रहा है, x-axis पे units of the commodity, and on y-axis, marginal utility is measured on the vertical, that is the y-axis. Various points of marginal utility are plotted on the graph as per the given schedule. That is whatever schedule what we have made. Given schedule means the schedule which we have made. When the locus, that is group of points, locus of all the points are joined, marginal utility curve is derived. Marginal utility curve slopes downwards. It slopes downwards. Okay. From left to right, which shows that the marginal utility goes on diminishing with every successive increase in the consumption of the commodity. When marginal utility becomes zero, friends, marginal utility curve intersects the x-axis. Further consumption of commodity brings disutility, that is negative utility, which is shown in the shaded portion of the diagram, which is here shown in the blinking. Once again, you see it is blinking. Yeah, this is disutility. Okay, so here also there are some exceptions of the law of diminishing marginal utility. Assumption था, तो अभी हम देखेंगे एक्सेप्शन. तो क्या ये सब में फॉलो होता है क्या? सब जगह पे ये लागू होता है क्या? No, there are some places where law of diminishing, there are certain places, there are certain factors where law of DMU is not maybe abided by or not maybe followed. तो वो क्या है? First is hobbies. So first let me flash that hobbies on your screen. In certain hobbies like collection of various stamps, अभी समझो आपको स्टैम्प कलेक्शन का हॉबी है, तो आप क्या करते जाएंगे? स्टैम्प कलेक्ट करते ही जाएंगे. कॉइन्स, रेयर पेंटिंग्स, म्यूजिक, reading, etc. The law does not hold true. Why? Because every additional increase in the stock gives you more pressure, more pleasure. आपको समझो कॉइन कलेक्ट करना है, स्टैम्प्स यू वांट टू कलेक्ट, द मोर वैरायटीज ऑफ स्टैम्प यू कलेक्ट, मोर कंट्रीज का यू स्टैम्प कलेक्ट, मोर रीजन्स का यू स्टैम्प यू कलेक्ट, तो यू गेट हैप्पी. I can recollect in my childhood also I had collected stamps and coins by getting as a hobby. So every new stamp I used to get from various countries, England ka, America ka, Mongolia ka, various countries, Australia. So I used to get very happy, I used to get excited. So here, if hobbies are there, this law of DMU is not going to be followed there. So this increases marginal utility. However, this violates the assumption of homogeneity. तो homogeneity हमने assumption कौन सा देखा था? Assumption number 3, homogeneity we have seen. एंड उसके बाद क्या था फोर्थ assumption continuity. So homogeneity and continuity का assumption it violates. At the same time certain personal factors are there. Personal स्वभाव जिसे हम कहते हैं, habits, nature, that is miser. So in the case of miser, every additional rupee gives him or her more satisfaction. Marginal utility of money tends to increase with an increase in the stock of money. However, the situation ignores the assumption number one. कौन सा था assumption number one? Rationality. This violates the assumption first of rationality. Addiction, that is the third exception of this law. It is observed in case of negative example is there, but addictions are always most of the time, not always, most of the time addictions are generally negative. So negative example is there here. It is observed that in the case of drunkard, that the level of intoxication increases with every additional unit of liquor consumed. So marginal utility derived by a drunkard may increase, but actually friends, it is only a illusion. It is not real. It is not going to increase. It is just an illusion. This violates, this condition is similar to almost all addictions. However, friends, this violates the assumption of first point. What was the first point? As I said, rationality. Okay, next point is there is power. So this is an exception in fact to the law, because when a person acquires power, उसके पास power है, सत्ता है, his lust for power increases. He desires to have more and more of it. However, again, it violates the assumption number one of rationality. Then friends, money. It is said that the marginal utility of money never becomes zero. It increases when the stock of money increases. This is because, friends, money is a medium of exchange which is used to satisfy various wants. Friends, however, according to some economists, the law is applicable to money also. Here in the book it is written that money is the exception, but according to some economists, money में भी ये use होता है, ऐसा कोई economics बोलते हैं. For example, marginal utility of money is more to poor person than to the rich person. However, these exceptions are only apparent, since they violate some of the other assumptions also and of the law, and hence they are not real exceptions. So yes, as I said, they are not real exceptions. Okay, friends, every coin has got a two side. So just like that, this law is a good thing, but it has got some criticism also. So as every side has got every coin has got two sides, the other side is criticism. So let us now see the criticism. First is unrealistic assumption. On the screen I will flash. Yeah, the law of diminishing marginal utility is based on various assumptions like homogeneity, continuity, constancy, rationality, etc. But friends, in reality, it is difficult to fulfill all these conditions at a given point of time. Cardinal measurement is our second criticism, और इस पे भी criticism हो रहा है cardinal measurement पे. तो क्या बोल रहे हैं? The law assumes that utility can be expressed cardinally, so it can be added. नंबर्स में है तो नंबर्स को हम ऐड भी कर सकते हैं, सब्ट्रैक्ट भी कर सकते हैं. इट कैन बी कंपेयर्ड आल्सो एंड इट कैन बी प्रेजेंटेड इन द टेबल आल्सो. इन रियलिटी कार्डिनल, वो दैट इज द हाइपोथेटिकल, बट रियल में है क्या ऐसा? रियल में ऐसा नहीं है. ओके, इट कैन नॉट बी, देयर इज नो वेइंग स्केल फॉर द यूटिलिटी. इन रियलिटी कार्डिनल मेजरमेंट ऑफ यूटिलिटी इज नॉट पॉसिबल बिकॉज यूटिलिटी इज अ साइकोलॉजिकल कंसेप्ट. तो इसके लिए कार्डिनल मेजरमेंट में भी आल्सो देयर इज अ criticism. Then Third point is indivisibility of goods. The law is not applicable to indivisible and bulky goods like refrigerator, car, then TV sets, etc., which are normally purchased in a single unit at a time. Next point is constant marginal utility of money. The law assumes that marginal utility of each unit of money remains constant. However, critics are there who argue that marginal utility of money differs from person to person. It is influenced by the changes in price, stock of money, etc. So, and last is single want. A single want may be, again, criticism is there. The law is restricted to the satisfaction of the single want at a given point of time. However, friends, in reality, a man has to satisfy many wants at a given point of time. But friends, despite of all these criticism, the law of diminishing marginal utility, friends, I will tell you, it is very popular and an important law in economics because of its universal application. It is very, very popular. Okay, so because of that, we have got the significance. So friends, now, as I said, every coin has got two sides. So importance is also is there. That is why we are studying till now. Okay, so let us see the significance of the law. First is usefulness to consumer. This law creates awareness among the consumers to obtain maximum utility from the limited resources. It is necessary to diversify the consumption. Usefulness to government. The law is useful to government in framing various policies such as progressive tax policy, ट्रेड पॉलिसी, प्राइसिंग पॉलिसी, एक्सेट्रा. तो गवर्नमेंट को भी बहुत यूजफुल होता है ये. Basis of paradox of values. The law of diminishing marginal utility helps to understand the paradox of values. Friends, it includes goods that have more value in use and zero or less value in exchange, such as air, water, sunshine, etc., as well as goods that have more value in exchange and less value in use, such as gold, diamond, etc. Then the significance of the law is the basis of the law of demand. The law of demand, how it is based on. So the law of demand is based on the law of डिमिनिशिंग मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी. म्हणजे जो आज का सेकंड पार्ट हम स्टडी करने वाले हैं. सो लॉ ऑफ डिमांड इज बेस्ड ऑन दिस. According to the law of demand, the quality that we are going to study, but it is there. Okay, there is a significance, so we have to mention it. एग्जाम में तो मालूम नहीं पड़ने वाला कौन सा टॉपिक किधर से आ रहा है, तो आंसर इज दैट यू हैव टू राइट. According to the law of demand, the quantity demanded of goods rises with the fall in price and falls with an increasing price. Means again inverse proportion is there, inverse variation is there. When a consumer purchases more and more units of goods, its marginal utility steadily declines. Hence, he or she would buy additional units of commodity only at a lower price. So this is what these were the significance of the law. And सबसे ज्यादा यहाँ पे जो मुझे पसंद आया कि it is the base of the law of demand. So with this we complete the significance. Now let us first study about two renowned English economists, Sir G.R. Hicks sir and R.G.D. Allen sir. I'll hear their respect and salute to them. English economists are there, and these are the two English economists, and they were mainly involved in the exponents of indifference method. This indifference method was evolved due to supersede cardinal utility analysis given by whom? By Professor Alfred Marshall, sir. Indifference curve analysis adopts the concept of ordinal utility and indifference curve is the locus म्हणजे group. Locus म्हणजे काय? Group of points. Locus of points indicating particular combination of two goods from which the consumer derives the same level of satisfaction. As a result, he or she is indifferent to a particular combination that he or she consumes. So this was the contribution of the Hicks sir and Allen sir. Friends, now we will see the concluding part of this first part A, that is relationship between, I saw that on the watch, it is how much it is there? 7 o'clock. 1858. Okay. Relation, so almost 7 o'clock it is. Relation between marginal utility and price. This we are going to see. So what is the relation? Is there any relation between marginal utility and price? So yes, it is there. So let us discuss the relationship between marginal utility and price in order to understand how the law of DMU forms the basis of law of demand. After this topic, we are going to start demand analysis. So we'll see how it forms the base of that thing. It is a perfect example of practical application of law of DMU. To understand the relation, it is essential to convert marginal utility in the terms of money. That criticism may be seen, which cannot be measured in the term. कोई scale नहीं है, मैंने आपको बोला. So to understand this, let us convert. Marginal utility is not measured in the money, but this hypothetical example to understand it better. Theoretical, we are studying. So let us convert marginal utility into a price, मतलब in the terms of money, so that it can be expressed in the market price. तो उसके लिए let us assume that 1 unit of marginal utility is rupees 10. Let us assume that, as you can see on the screen. And second assumption is that two things we have to assume. Market price of a commodity is rupees 50. Okay, X मुझे commodity. So we will make it the hypothetical schedule. So here I have made it for you from your textbook. So here you can see number of units in the first column. Second column you can see that is marginal utility. Third column you can see that marginal utility in the terms of money, where 1 unit is equal to rupees 10. Then market price is there, and comparison between marginal utility and price, it is there, friends. So here you can see that, friends, the table on your screen explains the relationship between marginal utility and price. The table shows that a consumer starts buying units of commodity for his consumption. Buy करते क्यों? उसको use करने के लिए. One after the other. Marginal utility which is added to his stock goes on diminishing with every further unit consumed. When marginal utility is converted in terms of money, we can easily compare it with market price, which is shown in the last column of the table on your screen. That is extreme. The fifth column, it is shown. For the first 3 units consumed, it is found that marginal utility in terms of money is greater than the price paid. A rational, means normal, consumer will willingly buy these units since the benefit derived is more than the price paid. At the fourth unit पे देखो on the screen क्या होता है? Marginal utility and price becomes equal. Marginal utility is equal to price, so difference is 0. So the consumer can also think of buying the fourth unit. So may or may not buy, क्योंकि it is 0, the difference is 0. In the case of fifth and sixth, marginal utility derived is less than the market price paid. A rational consumer will not buy further once the equality between marginal utility and the price is established. From the given table on your screen, friends, following inferences can be made with reference to the marginal utility and price. What inference, what conclusion we derive from this? What we can draw from this conclusion? We can draw that utility, that is units, when a consumer is willing to buy units, because marginal utility is greater than price. Initially the buying is there. Why? Because marginal utility is greater than price, is called intra-marginal unit. Barabar? Intra-marginal units. I repeat, intra-marginal units. Unit at which marginal utility becomes equal with the market price is marginal unit. That is consumer's equilibrium. Here I flash on the screen, you can see here in yellow. Units which a rational consumer is not willing to buy and consumes, where he has to pay more than marginal utility, is the extra marginal units. Thus, a rational consumer attains equilibrium when marginal utility is equal to price. These relationship between marginal utility and price made a way for law of demand. So this is what we are, it is the base, as I said, okay, it is the base of the law of demand, friends. With this we conclude the second part of utility analysis. In fact, that is, the first part of today's lecture has been concluded. Part A is over of today's lecture, and with this we ended utility analysis part 1 as well as utility analysis part 2. Now let us begin with part B, that is another topic for today's lecture, and it's one more very interesting topic, that is demand analysis. And in the last statement where we ended, I said that this has paved the way for law of demand. So let us now start and enjoy our demand analysis. The topic for today, demand analysis. So end of the second part and the start second topic for today we are going to start, that is this demand analysis. And first let us, every topic starts, so first we have to start with introduction. So first let us see what is this demand analysis. So demand and analysis, so why the name is there, let us see that. Friends, just now the chapter, that is utility analysis, what we completed, that we have studied, and we have seen that utility is the basis of demand. So no utility, no demand. Utility may generate a desire म्हणजे इच्छा, or a need to a particular commodity, but utility on its own cannot generate demand for the commodity. This chapter, friends, what we are going to study is in efforts to analyze the concept of demand. Demand analysis, friends, is concerned with consumer behavior. तो फक्त यूटिलिटी, अगर आपके पास फक्त यूटिलिटी है, उसका उपयोग है, तो उसका नॉट नेसेसरी के डिमांड है, गुड्स का डिमांड है इन द मार्केट. तो इसके लिए हम ये टॉपिक को स्टडी करते हैं. तो देखेंगे क्या है. लेट अस नाउ, दिस वाज द इंट्रोडक्शन. तो नाउ लेट अस सी द मीनिंग ऑफ द डिमांड. Friends, in simple words we can assert, as means tell that demand means desire. डिजायर, डिमांड मुझे क्या है, डिजायर, ऐसा भी बोल सकते हैं. लेकिन सिर्फ डिजायर से चलने वाला नहीं है. डिजायर मीन्स एन अर्ज टू हॅव समथिंग, काहीतरी वस्तू हवीशी वाटते त्याला डिजायर म्हणतात. बट डिमांड मीन्स डिजायर विच इज बॅक्ड. फक्त डिजायर दॅट डझंट मीन की डिमांड इज देअर. इट हॅज टू बी बॅक्ड बाय विलिंगनेस अँड ॲबिलिटी टू पे. त्याचं एक छोटंसं उदाहरण आपण घेऊया जे बुक मध्ये सांगितलंय. If a person has the desire to purchase a television set, आता टेलीविजन आपको, अगर आपको टेलीविजन परचेस करना है तो, but does not have the adequate purchasing power, then it will simply be desire. फक्त नुसती इच्छा राहील, but we cannot say that it is a demand. Okay, so as I have told you, okay, demand means what? That is desire plus willingness. Desire म्हणजे इच्छा, but are you really wanting to buy it? And if you really wanting to buy, are you ready to pay for it? So that is why we can say that demand is equal to desire plus willingness to purchase and at the same time ability to pay. So let me flash that on your screen. Here you can see that therefore demand can be equal to desire plus willingness to purchase plus ability to pay. So this you need to remember. Only desire or only willingness or only utility is different from demand. Okay. Along with the desire, you should have the willingness to purchase, and at the same time you should have the ability to purchase. So let us see the definition of demand. According to Benham, the demand for anything at a given price is the amount of it which will be bought per unit of time at that price. So thus we will see from this definition and meaning, we will have the certain features of demand. So demand क्या है? Demand एक relative concept है, and demand is essentially expressed with reference to time and price. So this is very important feature of demand. So let us now see the demand schedule. Schedule means tabular representation. So demand schedule is a tabular representation of a functional relationship between price and quantity demanded for a particular commodity. A demand schedule can be either individual demand schedule or market demand schedule. So दोन प्रकारचे आहेत डिमांड शेड्यूल. आधी आपण पाहूया इंडिव्हिज्युअल डिमांड शेड्यूल काय आहे, that we will see. Friends, individual demand schedule is the quantity of a commodity demanded by a consumer at a given price during a given period of time. Individual demand schedule is a tabular representation showing different quantities of commodities by an individual consumer and is prepared to buy various prices over a given period of time. Friends, this can be explained with the help of the following individual demand schedule. So now let us make the individual demand schedule, and once the individual demand schedule is made, we will plot it on the graph. Commodity demanded, we have taken a hypothetical example 1 to 5 as you can see on the screen, and price of the commodity it goes on decreasing. With the help of the arrows you can show that. Now what can we observe from the table on the screen, friends? That is individual demand schedule shows different quantities of commodity purchased by an individual consumer at various prices as you can see on the screen. It can be observed that less quantity of commodities demanded at a rising price and more quantity of it means so as the price rises of the commodity, the number of commodities purchased less. It indicates an inverse relationship, that is inverse variation between price and demand. Price goes on increasing, तो quantity goes on decreasing. Price less है तो quantity ज्यादा purchase कर रहे, price more है तो quantity less purchase कर रहे. That is why we have done that arrow. Okay, so now since our hypothetical demand schedule is ready, let us now plot it on the graph. So here you can see that we are taking quantity demanded of the commodity on the x-axis will take, while price of the commodity we will be taking on the y axis. So here we'll make for x and y. Heading you should give that individual demand curve, that is DD, and see what are the intervals what we have taken on the y axis. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and here 1 to 5 we have taken. So first we will label which what are the axis, x axis, y axis, and the origin, and what are the labeling properly of the x axis and y axis. We'll do it, that is very important. Then we'll plot the points as I said, 1, 10, 2, 8, 3, 6, 4, 4, 5, 2. These are the plots points we'll plot, and then we'll here second point we'll plot, third, then the last, and now we can join it. And it is advisable to write the scale. It is blinking as you can see on your screen. It is advisable to write the scale. It will give a proper meaning to the hard work which you have done. And then we have to show that it slopes downwards. This is important to show. So now let us see, हमने ये ग्राफ बनाया है तो क्या है उसमें. Individual friends, let us see that individual demand curve is a graphical representation of the individual demand schedule. तो क्या दिख रहा है आपको, x axis represents quantity demanded in kilograms, while y axis represents the price of the commodity in rupees. The individual demand curve, that is DD, slopes downwards. Blue arrow you can see on the screen from left to right. Do not forget to miss out this arrow in your examination, indicating an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. Market demand, now that also we will see that further. Now market demand schedule, that was the reading of your graph. So next topic, market demand schedule. Market demand is total demand for a commodity from all the consumers at a given price during a given period of time. Friends, market demand schedule is a tabular representation showing different quantities of commodity which all consumers are prepared to buy at various prices over a given period of time. It is obtained by a horizontal summation on the demand of all consumers at various prices. It also indicates an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. Friends, this can be explained with the help of the market demand schedule. Okay, so market demand schedule we will make here on the hypothetical. We have made a market demand schedule. We have made quantities demanded, as you can see on the screen. A, B, and C are there. So 5 to 25, then 10 to 30, 15 to 35, and then we have added A, B, C. 5, 10, 15 makes 30, and it is there. And then we have taken in the last column price of the commodity in rupees. So what we can observe from this schedule, the schedule on the screen, friends, that is market demand schedule, shows different quantities of commodity. They just given the name X commodity, kuch bhi. X means any commodity, whatever hypothetical, purchased by different consumers A, B, and C. Market में बहुत सारे consumer होते हैं, तो at various different prices they are purchasing. It can be observed that less quantity of commodities demanded at rising prices and more quantity of commodity is demanded at falling prices. Price गिर गया तो demand क्या हो गया, ज्यादा हो गया. Thus, there is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. So, friends, our the demand schedule is ready. So, what is the next step? Next step is to plot it on the graph. तो ग्राफ को प्लॉट करने के लिए क्या चाहिए, x and y axis चाहिए. So here is the x and y axis on the screen. Okay, we have to first label it x and y, and origin that you have to label. Then what is the labeling of x-axis and y-axis? You have to do quantity demanded in kgs will come on x-axis and price in rupees will come on y-axis, friends. And then slowly we'll start plotting the points. Schedule may we have seen. So from the schedule we have to plot the points. Okay, scale also we should write it, and here after writing the scale you should plot the points. Scale writing is important. What is the gap and why it is there, that is important. As you can see, it is blinking there on the screen. It gives a proper value to your hard work, that is your study, whatever, and you are presenting in the exam. It gives the meaning, proper meaning. Now we will plot the points one by one. First point, we will draw standing vertical line, perpendicular line, we will draw that. Second point, third, here fourth, these all we will plot. And finally what we will do after all points are plotted, what to do? We have to join it. Here we join it. And then सबसे important, sloping downward. This arrow, again this arrow will give a more meaning to your graph. So let us see now what the reading observation of this graph we will see. As you can see on the screen, the market demand curve is a horizontal summation of individual demand curves. It is based on the market demand schedule. पहले हमें market demand schedule बनाया, उसको फिर plot किया. Friends, the graph on your screen represents market demand curve. Graph बोलो. As you can observe, x-axis represents market demand. So to write the comments on that, that is quantity of goods demanded in kilograms, and y-axis represents price in rupees of the commodity. Market demand curve, here also you can label DD, no problem. Slopes downward, very important, you don't like that. Slope downwards from left to right, important is there, indicating an inverse relationship between price and market demand. So these are there. Now let us see कि ये left to right है. So what are the reasons which will tell us, which will justify us that the downward sloping? The reasons are law of diminishing marginal utility. So let us see what it justifies. First is law of diminishing marginal utility, as I flash on the screen. So ये है. So how does it justify? We have seen that, friends, marginal utility goes on diminishing with an increase in stock of the commodity and vice versa. Therefore, a consumer tends to buy more. Consumer tends to buy more when prices fall and vice versa. म्हणजे consumer tries to buy less when prices increase. This implies that demand curve is downward sloping. Very important, it can be asked as an objective also. Second is income effect. In the case of normal goods, when prices falls, that is falls, means decrease, purchasing power, that is the real income of a consumer, increases, which enables him or her to buy more of that commodity. This is known as income effect, as you can see on the screen. Third is, friends, substitution effect. तो ये क्या है substitution effect? In case of substitute goods, when the prices of the commodity rises, the consumer tends to buy more of a substitute. अगर आपको substitute सस्ता substitute है, will purchase it. अगर काम ऐसा ही काम कर रहा है तो वो goods आपके लिए, if the utility is the same, and less of the commodity whose prices has increased. This is known as, friends, as substitution effect. Next, fourth is, friends, multi-purpose use. When a commodity can be used for satisfying several needs, its demand will rise with fall in price and fall with rise in price. And the last point which your book has told, that is new consumers. When the price of a commodity falls, a new consumer class appears who can now afford the commodity. Price गिर गया तो न्यू कंज्यूमर्स आपके उसको अफोर्ड कर सकते, दे मे बाय. Thus, total demand for commodity increases with the fall in price. So, this we have seen the reasons which justify downward sloping of demand curve. So, demand व्यवसाय स्टडी, तो डिमांड चे प्रकार आहे क्या, उसका टाइप्स है क्या सर? तो yes, it is there. Types of demands are there. So, what are the types of demands? Direct demand, indirect demand, complementary demand or joint demand, composite demand, and competitive demand. Demand be whatever. So let us see and what is direct demand first. Friends, direct demand is the demand by the consumer for goods which satisfy their wants directly. They serve direct consumption needs of the consumers. Thus, it is the demand for consumer goods. उदाहरण उसका देखेंगे हम, एग्जांपल्स, डिमांड फॉर क्लॉथ, sugar, normally the fundamental human wants are there. Friends, please excuse me, I would like to drink water. Throat is getting dry, friends. Thank you, friends. So direct demand म्हणजे basic needs are there, roti, kapda or makan. So need for that is the called as the direct demand. Then friends, second, let us see about the indirect demand. Indirect demand is also known as derived demand. नाम से ही मालूम पड़ता है, indirect, it is derived from somewhere. It refers to the demand for goods which are needed for further production. It is the demand for producer goods, while direct demand for consumer goods. Hence, all factors of production have indirect or derived demand. For example, demand of workers in a sugar factory is called as the derived demand, म्हणजे indirect demand. Friends, now let us see what is complementary demand or joint demand. Other name for complementary is the joint demand also. When two or more goods are demanded jointly to satisfy a single want, it is known as joint or complementary demand. Say for example, if you purchase a car, तो कार चलाने के लिए क्या चाहिए? फ्यूल चाहिए, पेट्रोल, डीजल, सीएनजी, whatever. तो fuel will require. So car and fuel, once there is a demand for car will increase. So similarly, the demand for fuel will also increase and vice versa. Composite demand देखेंगे हम क्या है? The demand for a commodity which can be put to several uses is known as composite demand. For example, electricity is demanded for several uses, such as light is there, fan is there, then to switch on the desktop computers or washing machines are there, etc. Competitive demand, it is the demand for those goods which are substitute for each other. For example, either tea or coffee, sugar or jaggery, etc. So these were the types of demand that we discussed. Then friends, we will see the determinants of demand. So demand hai, so it is determined by what? So competitive demand also there. Now as you can see on the screen, determinants of demand. The first factor of demand is price. सबसे important. Price determines the demand for a commodity to a large extent. Consumer prefer to purchase a product in large quantities when prices of a product is less, and they purchase a product in small quantities when prices are high. Second is, friends, income. Let me flash it on your screen here. Income of a consumer decides purchasing power, which in turn influences the demand for the product. Rise in income will lead to the rise in demand of for the commodity, and fall in income, what it will happen, fall in income then will lead to the fall in the demand of the commodity. Then friend, the next very important determinating factor is the prices of substitute goods. If a substitute good is available at a lower price, तो क्या होगा, then people will demand cheaper substitute goods than costly goods. For example, if the price of sugar rises, then demand for what will increase? Jaggery complementary substitute are there though. Then the next point is price of complementary goods. Change in the price of one commodity would also lead to the demand for the other commodity. For example, as we have seen, car and fuel, if price of fuel rises, then the demand for cars will also decrease. Then fifth point is nature of product. If a commodity is essential and its use is unavoidable, then its demand will continue to be the same irrespective of whatever price. For example, medicines to control blood pressure. If you are taking the blood pressure medicine and whatever price is increasing, तो आप क्या वो बंद तो नहीं कर सकते बीपी का दवा, तो आपको लेना ही पड़ेगा. So nature of product. Size of production. Larger the size of production, मैंने slip of tongue. Size of population. Larger the size of population, greater will be the demand for a commodity, and smaller the size of population, smaller will be the demand of a commodity. Exceptions about the अथवा expectations about future prices, that is speculation. In future, if we speculate, okay, prices are going to increase or decrease, so that will also lead to the how much demand will rise or fall down. So expectations about future prices, if the consumer expects that the price of a product is to fall in future, he or she will buy in the present and prevailing prices, whatever price are less, so fatafat they will buy it. Similarly, if he or she expects the price to rise in the future, they will buy more of the rise in the, they will buy more in the present and prevailing prices. Next is advertisement. Advertisement, sales promotion scheme, and effective salesmanship tend to change the preferences of the consumers and lead to the demand for many products. For example, cosmetics, toothbrushes, etc. The more the advertisement, they are consumer products, the more advertisement is there, the more consumers are getting more awareness about it due to advertisement. So there will be a positive effect of advertisement on the purchasing decisions. Then taste, habits, and fashions. Taste and habits of a consumer influences the demand of a commodity. If a consumer likes to eat chocolate or consume tea, he or she will demand more of chocolate or tea. Similarly, when a new fashion hits the market, it means that there is a new fashion in the market, the consumer will demand that particular type of commodity. If a commodity goes out of fashion, then suddenly the demand for that particular product is going to fall. And then next point is level of taxation. So higher the rates of taxes on goods or services would also increase the price of the goods or services. That particular product also price will increase if the taxes are charged more. This in turn would result in the a decrease of demand. Why demand would decrease? Prices will increase. We have seen that for goods or services and vice versa. And the last point is other factors. What are the other factors? Climatic conditions are there. It will change according to climate. Changes in technology. Government policies are there. Customs and traditions are there. So etc. are there. So we have seen the briefing, and now this will lead to the framing of law of demand. So let us see now what is the law of demand first. Before going to the statement, first let us see the introduction, friends. The law of demand, as we have just I have discussed this before, was introduced by whom? Professor Alfred Marshall Sir in his books Principle of Economics, which was published in the year 1890. The law explains the functional relationship between prices and quantity demanded. Friends, now let us see the statement of the law. Friends, what is the statement of the law? According to Professor Alfred Marshall Sir, other things being equal. It means what? There also law of DMUMA was there. Other things remaining constant or equal. तो उससे क्या हो गया था? क्या आया था? Certain assumption. So after this topic we will see assumptions. Okay. So according to Professor Alfred Marshall Sir, other things being equal, higher the price of the commodity, smaller the quantity demanded, and lower the price of the commodity, higher is the quantity demanded. Okay, so it is the inverse relationship between the things are there. Okay, so these are this is the law which is there on your screen. As you can see, it has fallen. So in other words, other factors remaining constant, if the price of the commodity rises, demand for it falls, and when price of the commodity falls, that is decrease, demand for the commodity will rise. Thus there is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. Friends, these can be represented symbolically. The functional relationship between demand and price is expressed as D is equal to function of P, that is dx is equal to function of px, where D is the demand of commodity, x is any commodity, f is a function, and px is the price of the commodity. So here you can see that what I have narrated to you. Friends, as I said, other things remaining equal, so that will lead to the certain assumptions. So first, as I said, as soon as we'll complete the law, first we'll see the assumptions. So law of demand में कुछ तो भी assumptions है, अनुमान है. तो let us see. The very first assumption is constant level of income. So if the law of demand is to be found true to operate, then consumer income should remain constant. If consumer income is constant, then it will be true, because other, what it was in the very first line inverted commas के पीछे क्या लिखा था? Other things remaining equal. It means constant level of income should be there. Only then this will be found to be true. If there is a rise in income, people will demand more at a given particular price. No change in size of population. Friends, it is assumed that the size of population remains unchanged. Any change in the size and composition of the population of the country affects total demand for the products. Prices of substitute goods remains constant. That is the next. It is assumed that the prices of substitutes will remain unchanged. Any change in the price of the substitute will affect the demand of that particular commodity. The next point is the prices of complementary goods should remain constant. It is, friends, assume that the prices of complementary goods remain unchanged, because a change in the price of one good will affect the demand for the other goods. Next is no expectation about future changes in price. It is assumed that consumer do not expect any further change in price in the near future. if consumer expects a rise in the price in future, that is some speculation is there, then what will happen? They may demand more in the present situations at even at the higher prices. 6th point is the no change in taste, habits, preferences, that is choices and fashions. Friends, it is assumed that consumers' taste, habits, preferences, fashion, etc. should remain unchanged. Any change in these factors will lead to the change in demand. And the last assumption is no change in taxation policy. Taxation policy of government has a great friends impact on the demand for various goods and services. Therefore, friends, it is assumed that there is no change in the policy of taxation declared by the government. The law of demand, friends, is explained in a better way and it can be understood in a better way with the help of the demand schedule. So, first, let us try to understand in a better way the demand law of demand by framing a hypothetical schedule. So same thing how we have made the other schedules, quantity demanded of a commodity are there, 1 to 5 it increases price, as you can see, as the uh, price is goes on increasing, that is from 10 to 50, the commodities goes on decreasing. Inverse variation for plotting this, once the schedule is ready, hypothetical schedule, we will plot it on the graph. We'll take quantity demanded on x-axis while we will take price of the commodity in rupees on y-axis. So what do we observe from here on the table on your screen? We can clearly observe that demand schedule which is there on your screen, that when prices of the commodities rupees 50 आपको दिख रहा है screen पे, quantity demanded is 1 kg. When prices fall from 50 to maybe 40, quantity demanded rises from 1 kg to 2 kg. Similarly, at 30 rupees, quantity demanded is 3 kg, and when prices fall from 20 to 10 rupees, quantity rises from 4 kg to 5 kg. Thus, as the price of the commodity falls, price decrease हो रहा है, the quantity demanded rises, and when price of the commodity rises, quantity demanded falls. This shows an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. So now our hypothetical schedule, demand schedule is ready. So let us plot it. Let us give the heading demand curve DD. On the vertical axis, you see the intervals why we have taken 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And here we have taken the intervals of 1. First, we'll label what are the axis, x axis, y axis, origin, and what is the naming that you have to do, naming of the axis. Quantity demanded is on the x-axis, price on the y-axis, and we'll start plotting the points one by one like this. And once all the points are plotted, what we'll do, we'll join it, and like this we'll join the line after it is plotted, and it is scale box. Scale, if you write what are the intervals, 1 centimeter is 10 units on x-axis, while 1 centimeter is 2 units on y-axis. So that is there, and very important is arrow sloping downwards. This is very, very important. Sloping downward shows that it's a inverse relationship between that. So this is important. What we can observe from the graph, let us write the observation. X-axis represents demand of commodity, y-axis represents price of commodity. Assume it as X. DD is the demand curve which slopes from left to right due to inverse relationship between, this is very important to write, so, which indicates the inverse relationship between price and quantity demand. तो हर टाइम ऐसा ही होता है क्या कर्व? तो नो, समटाइम्स देर आर एक्सेप्शंस. So what are the exceptions, बराबर, of demand curve, that is exceptional demand curve? Let us see. There are certain exceptions to the law of demand. It means, friends, that under exceptional circumstances, consumer buys more when the price of the commodity rises and buys less when the price of the commodity falls. In such cases, friends, demand curve slopes upwards from left to right. That is, demand curve has a positive slope. Okay, so let us see an example of exceptional. So here we are just going to indicate it by graph without the schedule. X and Y axis, you will plot it, you will label the heading exceptional. Here you will label X and Y axis, and then what is there on X and Y axis, that we will write quantity demand in kgs in, as you can see down on the X axis, prices, on the Y axis, points we will plot, and we will try to join it, and join in such a way that it tends to intersect or pass through origin. लेकिन हमें जस्ट स्केल रखना है, we don't have to touch the origin. Actually your graph should be only this much, but see to your scale, when you are, of course, naturally you will be drawing with the help of your scale or ruler, whatever. So your, see to it that your ruler is touching the origin. Scale your instrument, whatever instrument you are drawing, it should touch the origin. So that, because this we are doing without the plotting of points, without the schedule, and label it as DD. And here this arrow is very important for exceptional demand curve. As we have seen, this arrow is very important. And here, as you can see, scale box we have not written because we have not plotted it. This is just drawing hypothetically. So exceptions of law of demand, what are they? The exceptional demand curve we have seen. So what are the exceptions? That let us see point wise, one by one. First is Giffen's paradox. Second is prestige goods. Third is speculation. Fourth is price illusion. Next is ignorance. And then it is habitual goods. So now let us see what means Giffen's paradox. तो ये हमने लिख लिया, लेकिन Giffen paradox है क्या? Giffen paradox is inferior goods or low quality goods are those goods whose demand does not rise even if the prices falls. At times, demand decreases when the prices of such commodity falls. Sir Robert Giffen, sir, observed this behavior in England in relationship to bread. तो सर एक कोई एग्जांपल दे दो, तो है ये ब्रेड का एग्जांपल लिया है. He noted that, who noted? Sir Robert Giffen, sir, noted that when the price of bread decline means decrease, people did not buy more because an increase in the real income or purchasing power. They prefer to buy superior goods like meat. This is known as Giffen's paradox. Now, prestige goods में let us see expensive goods like diamond, gold, etc. status symbol. So rich people tend to buy more of it even when the prices are high. Speculation. So let us discuss what is speculation. The law of demand does not hold true when people expect the prices to rise further. In this case, friends, although the prices have risen higher, but consumer will demand more in anticipation of a further rise in the price. Example, prices of oil, sugar, etc. tend to rise before Diwali. ये generally ऐसा देखा गया है. So people go on purchasing more at higher price as they anticipate the prices may rise during Diwali. So before Diwali, purchasing of oil, sugar is generally found more. Then what is price illusion? Consumer have an illusion that high price goods are of better quality. ऐसा लगता है कि अरे कीमत ज्यादा है तो ज्यादा अच्छा होगा, ऐसा illusion is there. Not necessarily always. हो भी सकता है, नहीं भी हो सकता है. Therefore, the demand for such goods tend to increase with a rise in the prices. For example, branded products which are expensive are demanded even at a higher price. Fifth point, we'll see ignorance. Sometimes, due to ignorance of people, they tend to buy more of commodity at higher price. This may happen when consumer is ignorant. Ignorant means not aware about the price of that commodity at some other places. Habitual goods, due to certain habits of consumption, certain goods like tea is purchased in the required quantities even if the price is higher. So let us, these are where the points which we discussed about the exceptions of the law of demand. So now let us see the types of demands, variation, changes in demands, whether there are any changes, that is a variation in demand. So what does it lead to? So variation in demand, when the demand for a commodity falls or rises due to the change in price alone. Due to demand कम ज्यादा होता है only because of the price alone, only because of price, and other factors will remain constant. It is called variation in demand. So variation in demand किसके हिसाब से? Only if the prices are changed. If prices rises or decreases, increases or decreases, rises or falls, then it conversely सामने demand falls or rises, then it is called as variation in demand. So what are the variation in demand? Expansion of demand and contraction of demand. So these are the variations of demand. So let us see now what is expansion of demand. Expansion of demand refers to the rise in quantity demanded due to the fall in price. As the law of demand is told, if the prices will, let me check out the time, it is 1950 exact, 750. Expansion of demand refers to the rise in the quantity demanded due to fall in price alone, while other factors like taste, income of the consumer, size of the population, etc. remain unchanged. Demand moves in downward direction on the same demand curve. Friends, this can be explained by the graph which is represented on your screen. Expansion of demand, आप देख सकते हो, x, y, all axes I labeled. Expansion of demand. Now first we will at a given here, once again please note, your schedule is not there. We are just having an approximation, directly hypothetical graph to explain expansion of demand. Price and quantity, here we will take price and quantity, it's meeting at point A. Then we will take, if the price is decreasing, price from P, let us write P से वो P1 में जाएगा, तो demand, what will happen? We have to show that the demand has increased, because according to law of demand, price will decrease, then quantity demanded will increase. Okay, so here you will have to indicate by arrow. So price हम देखेंगे, price गिर गया तो quantity क्या हो गया? Increase हो गया. Here we will have to see, and then we will join it, the graph will join, that is curve, and we will have to, सबसे important factor of these are all the arrows, two arrows are there, and the third arrow is now here. All three arrows are very important, which will indicate, which will give meaning to your graph. The graph will be meaningless if you miss out the arrows. So here what can we observe? We can observe that DD is the demand curve, a downward movement on the same demand curve from point A to point B. It indicates an expansion of demand. So now let us go to the next contraction of demand. What is it? It refers to a fall in demand, decrease in demand, fall or decrease in demand. Why? Only due to the price is increased. Other factors like taste, income of the consumer, size of the population, etc. remains unchanged. Demand curve moves in upward direction on the same demand curve. And friends, again, this can be indicated and demonstrated very nicely by the graph, hypothetical graph on your screen. X and Y axis, again quantity demanded and price on X and Y axis respectively. Origin you have to label, heading of the graph you have to write contraction of demand. And here again we will take one hypothetical just example approximation. ये आपको प्रैक्टिस करके जाना है before exam, so that you will be very well versed with it. Here it is there. And now what we'll do, price will, earlier क्या था, ऊपर से लिया था and price नीचे था in expansion. Now what we'll do, we'll increase the price. तो ये देखो price will increase, तो quantity demand will be decrease. So point B आ गए उसको where it is meeting, and now we will indicate that the price has increased. Here you see on friends on screen arrow. अब ये price increase हो गया. अभी now we have to show the arrow to indicate that the quantity has decreased. It's very important to indicate, as I told you, arrows. And now what we'll do, we will join it. Points A and B will join it. And the very important factor is that we will have to indicate this arrow. This is very important. Along with these other two arrows are also very important. As I told you, arrow gives a proper meaning to your graph. What can you observe? We can observe that DD is a demand curve, an upward movement on the same demand curve from point B to point A. पहले क्या था? A to B. अभी क्या था? B to A. Shows contraction of the demand curve. Okay. So now, friends, this is the last topic now. This was the second last topic which completed. Now we will take the last topic. We are coming to the last topic of today's lecture. Okay. Changes in demand. When now अभी क्या हो गया? Changes in demand. The new topic. So change in demand हम कब बोल सकते हैं? When demand for a commodity increases or decreases due to change in other factors and price remaining constant. So earlier क्या था? Price is the same, but the demand is affected. But here, that is exceptional. It is known as the changes in demand. Friends, changes in demands are of two types: increase in demand and decrease in demand. So let us see now about increase in demand का अर्थ क्या है. Increase in demand म्हणजे काय ते आपण पाहूया. Increase in demand refers to an increase in quantity demanded due to favorable changes in the other factors like taste, income of the consumer, climatic conditions, etc., and prices will remain constant. Demand curve shifts to the right hand side of the original demand curve. This can be demonstrated in a better way by the graph on your screen, hypothetical graph. But heading first, you should write increase in demand, X and Y axis with origin, name of X and Y axis, quantity demanded in kgs and price. It is going to remain the same. Here we will take P for price and Q for quantity. Here we will draw DD demand curve passing through point A. Then again what we will see here, what was there? Changes in demand, prices remain the same, but the demand, quantity demand is increased, price the same. So वही पे हम आगे लेके जाएंगे उसको point B पे price को. Here Okay, now we will join that. We'll not join, but we'll make a arrow, make a graph which is passing through point B, and we'll label it as D1 D1. Now here only one arrow we have to indicate because the price is the same, and we have to indicate arrow from Q to Q1, and same thing above we have to do it parallel mein. So this is very important. So this what do we observe from the graph on your screen? DD is the original demand curve, while D1 is the change demand curve. Demand curve shifts outwards to the right of the original demand curve, that is DD, and it changes to a D1, which indicates increase in demand. Okay, so let us see now decrease in demand. Decrease in demand means what? म्हणजे काय? It refers to the decrease in quantity demanded due to unfavorable changes in other factors, but not the price. कौन से other factors? Like taste, income of the consumer, climatic conditions, etc. But price will remain same, unchanged. Price is unchanged. Remember that. Demand curve shifts from left hand side to of the original demand curve. This can be once again explained by the hypothetical graph on your screen. X and Y axis, labeling of axis with origin, heading decrease in demand, quantity demanded on X axis, price on the Y axis. We'll take one hypothetical point P and point Q. Intersection of both the points, will label it as A. Here you can see on the screen. Now what will happen? We'll draw original demand curve DD passing to point A. Price will remain the same. Now will decrease. Q to Q1 the will decrease, and from point B, so we'll make a dotted line from point B to Q1, and we'll make a demand curve D1 passing through point B, and we'll indicate it by an arrow. Okay, quantity is decrease. Price is the same, as you can see, P. That line, horizontal line is the same. Quantity is decreased. Same thing will label the arrow on top also. So this is very, very important. So what can you observe? We can observe that the curve DD is the original demand curve. It shifts inwards to the left of from right. Left से right में आता है. That is from DD to D2, which indicates decrease in demand. Okay. So now we have completed this topic of demand analysis, but don't forget that what we studied further, we studied utility analysis, और उसके पहले हमने क्या स्टडी किया? माइक्रो एंड मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स. तो यहां पे हम देखेंगे डिमांड हमने स्टडी किया, इंडिविजुअल डिमांड वी हैव स्टडीड, मार्केट डिमांड वी हैव स्टडीड. तो इंडिविजुअल डिमांड इज देयर, तो इसको हम माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स में ग्रुपिंग कर सकते हैं कि मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स में ग्रुपिंग कर सकते हैं. तो डिमांड फ्रेंड्स इज माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक कंसेप्ट, while total demand is macroeconomic concept, that is aggregate demand. We have already studied in micro and macro. Macro means aggregate, sum total of all. So demand is the quantity of the commodity which a single individual person is ready to buy at a particular price and during a specific period of time, while total demand or aggregate demand is a macroeconomic concept because it refers to total amount of the sales proceeds which an entrepreneur actually expects from the sale of the output produced at a given level of employment during a year. So with these friends, it is 8-1, and with the help of God's grace and the blessings of Dr. ARVIND LUHAR sir, line Professor Dr. NISHIKANT JHA sir, and Professor Dr. Kuldeep Sharma sir, we have completed today's lecture. And here you can see, as I told you, we have completed. So I thank you all very much for listening to me patiently and participating in today's lecture. But due credit has to be given to the wonderful study material which has been taken from the textbook of Maharashtra State Board, Bureau of Textbooks, Production and Curriculum Research, Pune. A very big thank you to Maharashtra State Bureau of Textbooks and Production for making this wonderful study material. Special thank you to all the authors, publishers, and everyone involved in writing, printing, compiling, publishing of this wonderful textbook. Indeed, friends, this textbook is a wonderful textbook and is an excellent study material. Thank you, Maharashtra Board, Bureau of Textbooks. Thank you for the study material which you have given us. So, at the same time, a very big thank you, without whom maybe without their blessings, I won't be definitely in front of you. So, a very big thank you to my gurus, my respected senior teachers. I join hand and bow to them. Professor Dr. Arvind LUHAR sir, Chairman, Indian Accounting Association, Thane branch. Lion Professor Dr. NISHIKANT JHA sir, General Secretary of Indian Accounting Association, Thane branch, and Professor Dr. KULDEEP Sharma sir, Treasurer, Indian Accounting Association, Thane branch. Thank you, Dr. Arvind LUHAR sir. Thank you, Dr. NISHIKANT JHA sir. Thank you, Dr. KULDEEP Sharma sir, for your blessings, for your support, for your motivation, for your inspiration. You are our idol. Looking at you, you are at the highest position at various colleges and University of Mumbai. Lekin फिर भी, after remaining so busy, you're sparing time for us. And the more important thing, आप सबको साथ में लेके चलते हैं. So that is a very important thing, sir. Once again, on this Friendship Day, as I told you, friend in need is a friend indeed, sir. You all have stood by me when I was in need. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And once again, with this, I wish you, to my teachers, Arvind LUHAR, Dr. Arvind LUHAR sir, Dr. NISHIKANT JHA sir, Dr. KULDEEP Sharma sir, I wish you all once again a very, very happy Friendship Day. At the same time, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Friends, at the same time, my thanks will be incomplete if I don't thank the backend team and the supporters, without which we would not be on this wonderful platform. The blessings of Indian Accounting Association Thane branch is there, but then these young boys, as KULDEEP Sharma sir also told, okay, they are studying, but they are spending a lot of time for us. So thank you for their sincerity, for your hard work, for your efforts, for your support. So sincere thank you to the sincere boys, Mr. Kanish Sharma. Thank you, Kanish bhai. Mr. Vignesh Pandey. Thank you, Vignesh bhai. Mr. Harshal Rathod. Thank you, Harshal bhai. Mr. Ajit Yadav. Thank you, Ajit bhai, for your sincere efforts, hard work. Thank you very much. Once again, thank you to everybody. Thank you to my students who are listening to me in Dahanu and in the surrounding areas. Thank you. Keep smiling. Keep your smile there on your face. Keep smiling. And finally, once again, thank you to one and all, to my family members, to my Bapuji. Maybe my Bapuji is also listening today. So thank you very much. And God is great. With this, I sign off for today. Let us meet very soon in the next lecture, when it will be scheduled by Indian Accounting Association, and with the blessings of Professor Dr. Arvind LUHAR sir, Lion Professor Dr. NISHIKANT JHA sir, Professor Dr. KULDEEP Sharma sir. Thank you one and all. Thank you. Good night. With this, I sign off.